Hey everybody, meteorologist Brad Panovich here for SkiSoutheast.com. Thought I'd dive right into the forecast this week because we've got kind of an interesting pattern this weekend. It's not horribly warm, it's not horribly cold, it's kind of in between. I mean, there will be some snowmaking opportunities at night this weekend, but overall it's a pretty mild pattern. And I wanted to start with the upper level pattern because it's really interesting. We're going into a little bit of a warm spell here at the beginning of February. And the first thing you're going to notice here is I'm going to zoom in on the southeast. We've got an upper low, but it's actually over Florida. So it gives us a little cool air in the southeast. But I want to show the bigger pattern because what's interesting is over parts of Alaska right now, we've seen really cold air. As long as Alaska stays cold, that likely means ridging over the east. We need the ridge to build up here, which eventually should shove a trough in the eastern part of the country. So California is getting clobbered. Alaska is getting clobbered with cold and snow, while the East Coast is going to see a giant ridge. And I'll show you another example of this late next week. I'm going to pause this right here. So this is another example. Look at that big ridge. That's warm in the southeast. Look at all the cold air starting to move a little bit in Canada. So there's signs that there are some splits in the polar vortex that maybe one of these chunks can get down here. We've got to get through. We've got to kind of wash out this ridge first. And if we go long range, I'm going to go all the way till next Monday. This is a good sign right here, actually. You see that cold air starting to spill over Greenland, coming into Hudson Bay. That's something to watch for the middle of the month. I'll just say that right now, that seeing that cold air up there, this is in a much better location for us to get the cold air. When it's over here, that's going to go here, it's going to go here. We want to see the cold air here. This is a better opportunity that at some point it'll make it down into the southeast. So hopefully mid-month that's going to happen. But between now and then, not a lot to really talk about. In fact, everything is pretty dry with this system passing to our south Monday. Next week, we've got a big cold front that moves through. So looking ahead to next weekend, Super Bowl weekend, looks like a little bit of rain going into the weekend. But on the back side of this storm, Sunday, Monday, it does look like maybe a brief period of northwest flow. So this is a sign. This is next Monday, by the way, not this coming Monday. So Super Bowl Monday, if you will, the day after the Super Bowl. That's when we start to see maybe a little bit of a shift in the pattern. And just look at the snowfall forecast for this time period as well. We'll go all the way out to next Monday. You can see some of that northwest flow showing up, but that's the only snow right there in the next 10 days. So we got to get some cold air in here. And speaking of that, let's look real quickly at the forecast. Yeah, we're going to have at least some marginal snowmaking conditions at night and early morning, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. But I think by the middle of next week, that goes away until that front moves through next weekend. So keep your fingers crossed this pattern flips just in time for President's Day and maybe for the epic end of the season. If we can get that pattern to change and last into March, we can extend our season. But right now, looking at the conditions across the southeast, make sure you check the website. Looks pretty good. I mean, some of the best conditions I've seen, even though we haven't seen a lot of cold and snow lately. In fact, there's been so much snowmaking and great opportunities that the resorts have opened up a lot of terrain, and it's looking really good. Got to get through this warm spell. I promise you there are changes ahead in the middle of the month.